Won't waste another minute, no, I won't. I'm a man on a mission. I'm a man on a mission.
There were two on me. One hit me, the other ones were down the block. They were robbing me, basically. They were going to mug me. Just pushing my buttons. And my dad was sitting at his desk right away. I'll never forget it. And when he told me he was serving subpoenas on everybody, even my dad.
So you drew on a police officer?
A detective, a police officer.
And what did he do?
Froze.
Welcome to Men Talk 2 True Crime. We're here at PBC Studios with David Krieff and someone that you may be very familiar with, Joey Buttafuoco. For better or worse?
For better.
You think so? I've had the pleasure of actually meeting both of these gentlemen 20 years ago, and it was during a segment for Entertainment Tonight and The Insider. And now I've actually talked to your ex-wife and your daughter on Inside Edition. So we should cut right to the heart of it. What happened to your head? What happened?
I had to downsize it because I had an incident last week. This kind of shit follows. Can I say shit?
You can say whatever you want.
Okay. This kind of stuff follows me, you know, so... And it hasn't for a long time, but it took me back to my past. It's amazing when things happen and it takes you back to a different lifetime, you know? What happened was I was leaving a friend's building in a compromised part of town, let's put it that way. As I'm leaving and locking his door, I drew the first lock, and then I see down the street, it was a long dead-end street that was like a T street. There was a group of people all the way down, and then I saw two more guys walking this way towards me like this, right? Like, okay. And then I hit the other lock, and then they were gone too fast because I'm there all the time and I know the area. So when I hit the second lock, I didn't see these two guys until I walked away from the door, put my back to the door, I looked around a little bit because I'm just, you know, like that. And as I leave and I make a left to go to my truck, like it was right there, one of these skinheads hit me in the face hard, very, very hard. And when he did that, I started bleeding like within a second. Head wounds do that, you know? And I said, what the fuck just happened? And he dropped his gun. So he hit me, the fucking idiot, with an open hand with his gun. He can't hold on. He dropped his gun, I picked it up, and I shot him. And this
in the chest?
Right in the chest. And he went down.
Did you walk away?
Of course I walked away.
So you don't know anything more than that moment?
No more than that. I shot him. I don't give a fuck about it. He tried to kill me. I killed him. I don't know if I killed him. Let me take that back. I was
going to say, is he dead or is he alive?
I don't know. I don't know. I shot him and he went down. I took the gun. I kept the gun. I drove 2 blocks to the ocean, threw it in the water. And he did. This is what I got. It was bad.
Did you report it to police?
Come on.
That's not like you. After all these years, you'd think I would know.
Tell her why you might not have done that.
No, because then all of a sudden now they made me part of their crime, and that's no, I did not. I'm not going to. I don't know if he's alive or dead, and I really don't care. The cool thing is, it took me, I don't know how cool it is, but it took me back 55 years.
How so?
Life of crime. I lived many different lives at the same time. I really did. I feel terrible that I even lived like that, but I did. I lived a double life, a triple life, you know, with certain crime families doing different solo jobs.
Solo jobs. So when you say...
You have to remember, I come from a very different time than most people in this room. Like when I was a kid, Carlo Gambino, we all know who Carlo Gambino is. He was the original Gambino family. He lived right down the street from us in Massapequa, Long Island. So that being said, he used to drive, not him, his driver would drive his big blue Cadillac down Biltmore Boulevard, and he was awesome because he spotted us, he looked at us, and when he came down that street, it parted. All of us kids, there were so many kids in the neighborhood, we enough players to like play every sport you could imagine, football, baseball, whatever it was, soccer. And when that Cadillac came down off of Merrick Road, we parted, man, and he drove right through nice and slow. And for whatever reason, he always made eye contact with me. And it was so cool. I didn't know the power of this guy when I was a kid. You know, I was 10, 12 years old. And he never broke eye contact, and neither did I. I used to just watch him. I was fascinated by this whole thing. And then I realized, well, I didn't realize it, but I was running numbers, but I didn't really know I was running numbers. And I did it for candy. I'll tell you how it worked. One of his guys approached me and said, bring this bag to Carver's Pharmacy. Up the street, it was a little plaza, right? Old man Carver. And give it to the old man Carver, Dr. Carver. And I did. And I got paid in candy. It was so fucking wild.
So this is your mentor, and he's paying
but I
you
was a
in
young kid.
candy.
How old were you?
I was maybe 12 years old. I was young. None of my friends knew what was going on.
But you had experienced guns before.
I have. Oh, please, of course I have.
So when did you have your first gun?
Well, you really want to get to that?
Sure.
Yeah.
Is that
First
okay?
gun
Is that okay?
Or the candy?
Sure.
There's a great story.
Well, I mean, the candy is that's your payment.
Yeah.
So
I want to tell one little story about the candy. They used to give me these sugar daddies. I don't know if you remember these. And
Yes.
It took forever to, they were like this taffy thing. And I love those, and I couldn't eat it fast enough. My mom came looking for me one day, and I'm on the neighbor's lawn eating this fucking sugar daddy. And she came, you look a lot like my mom, Louise. I saw her coming around the dentist's house, and she's coming up Merrick Road, and she's storming, man. I know she's coming for me. And then she just beat the shit out of me all the way home. And that was an ongoing thing with me and my mom, because I was a fucked up kid, you know. So, okay.
now let's
That
get
was
to
that.
the gun.
One of my favorite
The first
part.
gun.
Well-
What was your first experience with a gun?
Well, I just want to ask you
was
this. Back to the head that just happened. So you have a cane. I know your story. You broke your neck.
Yeah, and my back.
And your back.
Yeah.
So it's very difficult for him to walk. And
Yeah.
when that situation, there were 3 skinheads. I think you said 3 or 4.
There were 2 on me. One hit me. The other ones were down the block. They were robbing me, basically. They were going to mug me, and well, you know, they see the white hair of an old man, but they sometimes you pick the wrong target. It's a problem. It was I made it their problem.
But,
And if they drop a gun and it's in front of you,
I pick it up
you
and
clearly
shot.
know what to do.
Pick it up, shot.
but your reaction time is pretty amazing if you think about it. These are young kids, right? He's with 30-year-olds. And yet somehow you had the wherewithal to pick up a gun. Now, you also sometimes carry a gun on you. Did you have a gun on you?
I picked up that gun so fast and shot that guy. I walked to my truck and threw it in the ocean down in way past Oxnard. I didn't want to be holding it. The reason I did that because my blood was on that gun. If I left it there and just left it there, they're going to do.
But you didn't answer my question.
Well, I'm answering it this way.
Did you have a gun on you?
Well,
usually you
what-
carry a gun,
Yeah, but
but you didn't use
do you
your
carry
gun.
your gun all the time?
And I have guns at home.
Okay. Well,
Am I the only one here that doesn't carry a gun? Evidently.
Let's all come up.
I hope neither of you have the guns on you at this moment.
But your reaction time brought you back 55 years.
yes, it did. It was awesome, actually. You were my first phone call.
No, I heard it. And when I saw the pictures, and we'll show some pictures on here later.
Yeah.
I mean, I think
Bad.
you
It was
saw
bad.
some.
I got hit right
Yeah, I saw
between
it.
the eyes, and I felt it, but I didn't go down. I mean, it's nothing, not that I'm Superman or anything, but he hit me right in the fucking face, and I was more angry than anything else that he got past.
But the
me.
adrenaline rush reminded you. Is
Yeah,
that
and
what you're talking
yeah,
about?
that rush.
Because you were in a
know?
great mood.
Always in a great mood.
Did you have a meal that night? I mean, most people would be, a little shaky
Well,
after that.
he's alive.
I was with 2
he
beautiful-
survived.
But he sounded so
survived.
happy.
That matters.
Am I wrong? You sounded almost elated, like
when I was telling you what happened, I
football
showed
game.
you what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was still fucking high, man. I mean, not on like any drugs or alcohol.
Sure.
I don't do any of that, But yeah, that adrenaline hit me so hard, the blood was pumping. It was great. Yeah.
Was it
felt
because
good to shoot him?
Was it because you possibly killed somebody?
No, it was because I won.
Got it.
I beat him. They came to steal my money. They came to mug me.
3
Yeah,
kids.
anybody ever been mugged in this room?
No, I've never.
It's
knock
horrible.
on
Even
wood.
close to it.
wood,
You know how
hopefully.
bad that is? You know how scary that is? Somebody comes into your house and all of a sudden you know your house. It's like, what the fuck is this guy doing in the house? What do you do? Most people panic.
But you knew what to do.
I quite enjoyed that. I did, because for me, it took me back a lot. I cannot believe I'm 70 fucking years old right now. I cannot believe it. I was 50 when I met you. When did that happen?
It's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. So yeah, to answer your question, it's just like an automatic reaction. You know, it's just automatic. What do you do? You know,
Wait. Let's take it back. You mentioned a life of different crimes.
Yeah. Yes.
The Mary Jo and Amy Fisher is a parent. We know about that, but tell us more about some of the things that we don't know about.
Okay, well, I never involved any of my family in anything that I was doing. My dad was a beautiful man, great businessman. My brothers, they sometimes, if I took a truck or something, everybody would kind of benefit from that, you know.
When you say take a truck, you're talking about
hijack a truck.
You mean stealing?
Yeah.
There were no GPSs at that point.
No, it's great.
So you could just
you
stake
could lift
out
anything.
the truck.
You lift anything, yeah.
And then you'd
Everything-
bring the goods home sometimes for the kids
and unload
then
it.
have dinner.
Absolutely, no question about it.
So you'd sit down, you have spaghetti and meatballs, like that. This is fun time.
Now I got a truckload being unloaded, you know, and it's all, back then it was all, I don't know if anybody would remember this, but it was LA Gear was a big name.
Sure, yeah,
back
yeah,
then,
yeah.
Totally
you know,
remember.
That went 30 years ago. It's just all that, the shirts and all the cool shit. And my daughter loved everything I brought home. Bicycles, everybody in the neighborhood got bicycles, shoes, whatever it was.
It's like 100 bicycles, right?
Wait,
1,000
so
bicycles. Yeah, we gave so much stuff away.
so you'd steal the car and then
not a car.
No, it wasn't a car.
truck.
steal
Like
the truck
18-wheeler.
and then
From
Yeah,
Target
or a
or
box
something.
truck, or a box truck. Yeah.
okay, and then take whatever was inside.
Yeah.
And your daughter Jessica.
Don't
was
go anywhere.
thrilled to get-
We'll be back in just a
Right.
moment with more
Got it.
conversation,
That was
right
the
after a
next
quick
question.
word from our
So did
sponsors.
Mary Jo
This
or
is
your
Men
kids
Talk
know?
2.
Pilates Pro Chair Max combines the sculpting power of Pilates with easy, effective cardio exercise workout videos. Available on demand anywhere. A Pilates machine designed to help you get a leaner, stronger, and more flexible body. Engineered for all fitness levels, it targets every muscle group with low-impact workouts that deliver the highest results. Work your arms and entire body together or separately, making every workout tailored to your needs. Are you ready to transform your body and elevate your fitness routine from the comfort of your home? Take the first step towards a leaner, healthier, happier you.
Build and shape your glutes in less time. Looking to tone your glutes and improve your overall fitness level? The Booty Bridge is perfect for at-home workouts. This simple device can help you achieve amazing results. Designed for all fitness levels, Booty Bridge is easy to use, so you'll be able to get a great workout even if you're not a fitness expert. The Booty Bridge is portable, so you can take it with you wherever you go and easily fold it to stow away at home. Build a beach-worthy booty. This is Booty Bridge.
All right, we're back. Let's jump right back into the conversation.
Idea?
I don't think so, but they do it now. I think because where did Daddy get all these bicycles? And you know, and what I could read you an email from my daughter. Boy, she really listed everything, all the shitty things I did in her life, which she was forced to be part of. I guess I love my daughter so much, but you know, so she listed it. She made me aware of all the crimes through a CCE. So you know,
CCE being
continual criminal enterprise.
And that
Which is stealing
continual
and selling everything.
enterprise went on for about 25 years.
Yeah, long time.
What other crimes?
Just a lot of that, you know.
Let me ask you this.
It definitely had effect on my family. No, Mary Jo, maybe she knew, maybe she didn't. God bless her. It's just I fucked up my entire life.
Is it okay if I talk about some of the items that we've talked about?
And are we switching subjects now?
Well,
'Cause
no.
it may
we're-
change
These
my-
are all.
it may
These are
change
all.
my-
But these are.
I
all
want
the
to
same.
approach you softly because you and I have discussed this. So I don't. If I'm off on track, stop me. Okay, but let's go back a few years.
The cops knew everything, and then when the Amy Fisher, I never got arrested. I never ever had a problem with the cops. There were so many cops that on my father's payroll in the '60s, and I couldn't believe it when this happened with Amy shooting Mary Jo. They just came after me like because they knew my past. They knew my CCE was going on for years. And Klein, I don't remember that guy, Freddie Klein, whatever that fucking guy's name was, your DA, whatever that cocksucker's name was. What a prick. He said to me, I know you did something. You might not have done this, but you did something. He said that.
So
to
he
me.
was after you. Those types of,
Fuck,
a few of
course they
those
were.
guys.
Even Alger, all the cops.
Like Alger.
Fuck,
So
man.
Alger, you were in a room with Alger at one point.
Yeah.
And you...
Or a detective. Let's just say
And it was
a
a
lead detective.
detective, and it was an upsetting... I remember this one story he told me. He's in a room with this detective who's on the case. Joey did... Let me get this right. You had a gun, right?
Of course I did.
And you were aiming the gun at Detective Alger.
But these guys were so up my... I hope nobody ever gets in trouble with the cops because they never let you go. Once you're on their radar, you're fucked forever. Forever. And
But-
this was in the heat of the case.
But they had reason to have you
They
on
made
their
their
radar.
reason. They made their reason. I'm not going to get mad. I love you. I'm not going to get mad.
Right,
so
but
don't be
they
scared.
did. But they did have a reason.
Well, my wife was shot. I was the one. Listen. I was the one when that T-shirt thing and all that Amy Fisher shit, and then they got her. So they like, oh, it's always the husband. It's always the spouse. I never really believed that. But in this case, it really was. I didn't hire Amy to do anything. Yeah, I did not.
But that was the accusation.
Yeah, the cops were really up my ass. So
and the
how I
lie,
get to
the big
the
lie.
other gun thing, there's a lot of gun stories. I know you
But
want
tell
to
me
talk
about the face-off of that one, because it just...
Okay, so when they were coming to our shop, it was way before Geraldo showed up. Once he showed up, I knew I was fucked, and I was like, "You got to be fucking kidding me!
lot of
Why is
people say that.
Geraldo at my shop?" And then the next breath, you know I'm going to be fucked right now because he came to me. He says, "Joey, you're about to be indicted." I said, "How do you even fuck?" Standing on my step of my shop, talking to me outside. I'm like, "What the fuck are you even doing here?" I don't, Everybody knows Geraldo for whatever, and now we're the best of, not the best of friends, but we're friends. We made up in California, and it's a whole other story. But
So we can have him on next.
yeah, we can have him on next. He's telling a great story. I'd love that. So when he showed up and he says, "You're about to be indicted," and I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "You're going to be indicted before the end of the day." Like, they know everything. The newsroom is right where all the cops are. It's all, And it's amazing how the cops pick sides with different reporters. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
Little Susie Forrest was such a good friend of mine. I don't know if you remember Susie Forrest from the Newsday.
Yeah, a little bit.
Dark-haired girl,
Yeah,
great chick,
right.
great girl. So anyway, everybody takes sides, right? So when he showed up and said, "You're about to be indicted," and then that was just right after one of the lead detectives came to my shop, and he's got a handful of subpoenas. And I walked in my office, I said, "What the fuck is this?" I could talk to them because I hated them by now. It was like, "Fuck you. I hate you guys." So I didn't give a fuck about them. And I don't want to come across like a tough guy because I'm not. And I don't want to come across that way, but I'm a little bit emotional over this because these things really, really happened, And I was pissed then, and I'm not that guy anymore. I try not to be. So when I walked in the office and my dad was in there and they were serving subpoenas on every one of my employees. And I said, "What the fuck is going on?" He said, "Everybody's getting a subpoena." And I was like, "Why are you subpoenaing all my crew? Because they want to know Amy's coming and going, maybe. Who knows? Did you see her here? Was he taking her upstairs? Was he fucking her upstairs? Was he, did he go on, whatever." That's what they were looking for. But I was blind to that. I was just pissed off generally all the time. And the cop was just pushing my buttons, and my dad was sitting at his desk right over there. I'll never forget it. And when he told me he's serving subpoenas on everybody, even my dad, he goes, "Okay." And that's when I drew on him. I drew on him. I
So
absolutely
you drew
did.
on a police officer.
A detective, a police
And
officer.
what did he do?
Froze.
And how long were you drawn?
It felt like it was an hour, but it was probably 30 seconds. The reality of it, when I look back at it, I'm like, I remember that whole scene. It was fucking awesome.
Were you going to shoot him at one point?
I could have easily if my dad
Your
wasn't-
dad...
There'd be a
was
lot of
there.
witnesses, unfortunately.
Well, it was just him and me and my dad in the office. I don't know if you in my office. He was right in front of my fucking desk. And that's what he was dropping on us. And I just pulled my weapon out. And when I did that, I used to carry this really big knife, this really with a buck handle on it. It was beautiful. They wound up taking it. And I drew on him, and I really wanted to.
You're just covered in weapons.
But he doesn't really carry that
You're a
often.
walking weapon, essentially.
I did, because I was threatened a lot back then, and.
Well, we can understand
And
why.
you were
you're
you were
hijacking
moving money.
trucks.
You had to be.
I was moving a lot of money.
right.
And when you move a lot of money, you have to have a gun. My guns were legal. There were lawyers and politicians who vouched for me. They got not a credit reference, but a character reference. You have to have a character reference from people in the town that are lawyers or whatever, And I got them. It's like,
How the heck did you get that?
I got them. I got them when I was 18 years old. That's how.
That's why.
I did everything for them when they would come and they needed something, whatever they needed. I did everything. I was that guy for my dad. So they were more than glad to sign, and I brought them to the judge. It's a whole thing to get a gun back then, a permit, a license to carry.
Yeah.
I carried every fucking day. I carried in church. I carried everywhere. I was, I was ready.
Are you allowed to really carry a gun now?
No. But I was going to apply for a permit just to see what'll happen, see if they'll
Get one
remember.
of these projectile launchers.
Yeah, those are pretty good.
Oh yeah,
They're good.
We were talking about that the other day.
Yeah.
That'll hurt somebody pretty bad.
Very bad. A burner gun? Oh, please.
I shot it the other day. It
yeah.
dented a tree. Just a launcher. They're called launchers, not.
What is
bullets.
with you two? What is with you guys carrying guns around?
It's a
anyway
men's
in
show.
general.
Elliot,
A lot
it's
of guys
men's
carry
show.
burners.
Okay.
The name of it is
all we
burner.
talk about
If you
is
look at it, you'll see
shooting
it's a beautiful
things.
weapon. And it's non-lethal, so I'm allowed to carry that.
Oh, got it. Okay.
It's non-lethal. It's not going to kill anybody.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
if you
the
shoot 'em like
plastic
this,
explodes.
if you have the pepper spray in those,
Right,
yeah.
and the pepper sprays
That's
in the
gonna disarm
explosion,
somebody
the plastic's
very
like
fast.
glass. It breaks like glass.
Yeah.
So before we,
But it'll leave a wealth. I mean, you shoot a guy from
It'll stop
8 feet, 10
somebody.
feet. It'll stop him in his fucking tracks.
And the pepper spray will
and it'll
end it.
go through whatever, and it makes this
Correct.
huge bruise. It's awesome.
So, okay, you said that Mary Jo and your kids probably didn't realize until much later what was going on
With
the stealing,
Or at least
the
didn't talk about
hijacking
it.
trucks,
Yeah.
Maybe they didn't talk about it.
having stolen bikes, computers, whatever, what have you.
containers.
Containers.
I mean, it was
of
containers.
things.
Whatever was in it, And one time I robbed a truck, and the truck was filled completely with coffee cup lids back then. When they put the lids
That's
on the blue cups, the blue cups you get at the diner or the deli.
Right.
Back in the day, the whole fucking truck was coffee cup lids. Oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me. All this.
It's a bad day.
Bad day.
How often were you doing this?
A lot. We did that a lot.
For fun?
Now that we're talking about this, and if any of my friends from when we were kids hear this, they're gonna remember some of these stories, because when I was young, really young, we used to rob the fucking train, the Long Island Railroad. And we used to steal Boone's Farm apple wine off the muscle that fucking container. Boone's Farm, it's vinegar.
You might have answered. You might have answered this before, but I have to.
We stole so much stuff. It became us. That's what we did.
Joe, you might have answered this before,
The
but
kids would go to amusement parks. We were stealing trains.
was the gun that Amy used yours?
No, of course not. No.
Okay.
No.
Where did she get the gun from?
She
Her
got
father?
that from that kid Peter Guagente. He
Oh,
got
right,
her a
right,
gun
right. He had a
somewhere in
gun.
Brooklyn. What he gave for a blowjob, and he gave her the gun. No, the gun. No.
Actually, I think I do remember that
Yeah,
story.
no, that gun. She did it all on her own. Yeah.
Can we move now forward in time a little bit? So you're getting older, and you're transporting a lot of money,
Carrying a lot of money. Yeah.
and at one point you're in New York with Studio 54. So you're doing
Those are the greatest.
You were the
years.
Quaalude-
2 years were great.
Quaalude provider for Studio 54. You were heavy into cocaine at the point.
Heavy in the cocaine.
Every day, right? Every minute? Was it? I mean,
Yeah.
that's an addictive
But,
drug.
Steve Rebell, he was a good guy. But, I mean, he loved those fucking disco biscuits. He used to call them that. Okay. And his little blue Jaguar, he loved just keeping boxes of them, because my brother used to bring them in. from Florida, from the South, and then those beautiful Roras were beautiful.
Were they from Florida? Because we had them at University of Florida.
Yeah.
Lemon 714s.
Yeah, with that beautiful
remember
satin finish with the bevel edge on it. It's beautiful pill. A lot of people don't know this, but that satin finish on a Quaalude back in the day, that was actually a time release. Right?
That's why it worked so
The
well.
greatest love drug on the planet.
Not that you needed a.
No, but
a
I mean, back
drug
then it was
for-
fun. No, I didn't. I really
No.
didn't. I didn't.
Well, obviously.
No, meaning if you're hanging out with your friends and whatever it is, that was a fun party drug, man. Anybody from back then will tell you that was like the best drug of the 70s, 75 and 76. Yeah.
So how often did
Nobody knew I was doing that. Mary Jo didn't know I did that. Nobody. Nobody. My one brother knew because he was giving it to me, and he's like, how'd you hook
That's
up
your
with these
brother,
guys? My brother,
Bob?
My brother Bruce is
Bruce.
How
He's
did
like,
you? How
did
did
you
you?
fucking hook up with these guys? This place is crazy. Have you ever been in Studio 54?
No.
It's the greatest club on the planet.
How did you keep Mary Jo in the dark?
I just didn't tell her. I was really bad, man. I would just disappear, unfortunately.
For long amounts, extended.
Oh,
amounts.
no, like overnight,
Time
a day
or-
or two, just at night or whatever. And when I was doing blow, it was like, forget about it. I never went home. I'd get on a boat and, go into the city. And,
The boat is a big deal in your life.
Boats were great. I loved all my boats, yeah.
Boats are why?
I just grew up on them. I grew up on boats on the South Shore of Long Island.
I thought you were going to say it was a way for you to hide
It was.
things. Oh,
Yeah.
What
I used
kind?
to load the boat. I kept this from everybody. It's like, this is some of the greatest stories I really have. And, now it's like 30, 40, 50 years ago. It doesn't really matter right now. But leaving my house, I don't know if you remember where I lived on the water, and you go right outside. All my boats were like in the marina, and it's the greatest. Well, it wasn't the greatest time of my life, but it was a good time. You get on that boat, we go out the inlet and then go to New York City on my boat. It was just so awesome, just out there, right? And they weren't little boats. I had big boats, man. I had Go Fast boats. I had Miami Vice boats before Miami
Scarabs,
Vice had.
things
Yeah, I
like
had Scarabs, IMPs.
Donzies.
I had everything with the twin big blocks. They were 100-mile-an-hour boats.
Yeah.
And I used every bit of that fucking throttle. I did. I loved it. I loved going into Manhattan. I would get past the Statue of Liberty, throw her a big kiss. She would always be on my left going into the city, right? Where are we going to go? Are we going to go the west side or are we going to go the east side? So the west side is where they have all the Intrepid, all the boats, all for the ships that are parked there, right? You got to know that.
yep.
You're in
I
New
used to
York,
live right by there. Yeah.
Okay, so when I make that west side turn and go up by the ships, the guys on the boats would throw all kinds of cool shit. I felt like I was in the Bahamas again. The ones that throw the rope up and you could buy a little boat from these guys. That's what it was like, but it wasn't boats. It was other stuff.
I'm a man on a
When we could have worked things out, we could have. At least with my daughter,
I don't need no permission.
This podcast is presented solely for educational and entertainment purposes. I'm just a man and your friend. I'm not a licensed therapist nor a doctor, and this podcast is not intended to take the place of a physician, professional coach, psychotherapist, or professional. Got it? Good. I'll see you in the next episode of Men Talk to MT2.